terrifically thorough and detailed, both orally and in writing. So for us, in the trade books he's reading, he really has a good understanding of what he's reading, and he's good at answering both literal and inferential questions. That said, in terms of goals, we still see a need for decoding at the multi-syllable word level, and still he needs to work on some of those higher level inferential comprehension questions. And probably he should have a fluency goal as well. Those are skills that we would continue to work on, with him next year.
Okay.
We'll answer any questions on reading if you have them.
No, not at this time.
So we're going to go on to writing, and again, we'll pause, and if you have questions or comments, we'll pause, and you can take the time, and we'll answer them. Handwriting is very interesting for Alex. We teach all our kids cursive. He has his own unique style of handwriting. It is legible. It is really very interesting because it's almost font quality, but it's unique in the sense that the way we teach kids cursive writing and the way Alex writes, there's not a perfect match. But Alex's handwriting at this point is legible. It's produced at a good pace. It doesn't vary a lot in size. So, again, it's an effective tool for him, and we're not going to change it. And frankly, if we wanted to change it, we would expect some resistance from him, just because he's somewhat set in his ways, and he has his ways of doing things, and for the most part, if they work for us, we're comfortable with them. Spelling, if you look at Windward coding spelling, those scores are pretty low. However, he is a student who can learn to recognize a pattern or apply a rule to spell with greater accuracy. When they do dictations, I'm assuming his dictations are typically accurate, and they are. He is working on more challenging endings, on suffixes, on multi-syllable words, on some of the more challenging vowel teams. So he is working on higher level skills. He is getting better as a speller. He is strong in his group, but we do see spelling as an area where he continues to need support. He still needs some guidance and reminders in terms of carrying over what he's learned to his independent work, and we will see some errors in spelling in his independent writing. Sentences, again, he is learning strategies that he can use to write more effective sentences, and when you look at what he does on structured tasks, meaning, combine or choose two phrases to make a sentence, or use a phrase in a sentence, on structured tasks, he's usually pretty good. He can have some difficulty with sense and number agreement. We see some awkward syntax, but he can write detailed and effective sentences. It's just, we see it as an area where he still needs some review and practice, teacher guidance in writing the more linguistically complex sentences. At the paragraph level, Alex understands how to organize information for a paragraph using a quick outline. He is independent in terms of his ability to organize information using a quick outline and then write an effective paragraph. His topic sentences and concluding sentences are really better with teacher guidance and support, but for the most part they are functional at the paragraph level. A lot of the work that he's doing at this point is really more multi-paragraph writing. He's worked on organizing information using a multi-paragraph outline, writing multi-paragraph essay. They've just finished a 4-paragraph argumentative essay. Alex enjoys argumentative essays. He did well on the work he produced. Again, a lot of this is work that he does in class with teacher support, but then finishes independently. His introductions and conclusions are better in terms of reminding him to use the format we encourage our kids to use. He's better at using that format with teacher prompts. He is learning to proofread his work and to revise and edit. We do see that as still an appropriate goal for next year. Really sentence work, and the multi-paragraph writing we see as appropriate goals for next year. We will continue to work on spelling. Some districts do work on spelling in terms of goals. Others don't, so that's really up to you. We'll answer any questions on writing if you have them.
Anybody have questions? No?
If not, we'll go on to math.
Great. He's good at math, right?
Is there a question?
No, I was just saying he's good at math, right?
He is good at math.
Yeah.
I was going to say we see him as a strong math student. He is doing 7th grade content and skills. It's primarily a pre-algebra course. In terms of pace and depth of instruction, it's definitely consistent with what you would expect in a 7th grade program. His number sense is good. He does have some difficulty with the language when he's dealing with new concepts and content, but usually with a second exposure and some reteaching, he's good in terms of concepts and more challenging skills. He is strong in terms of his basic facts. He is quick and accurate. Operations with whole numbers, fractions, and decimals are all solid in terms of procedures. He can still make occasional errors in his computation. He is quick in terms of mental math. He enjoys using mental math. Often that puts a math teacher over the edge, but his teacher says he's good at it, and if he weren't good at it, we would have focused more on making sure he was showing his work. He can have some difficulty with the language of math and some difficulty with word problems, but that is mostly in dealing with more challenging language and multi-step word problems. We do see that as an appropriate goal for next year. Basic 1 and 2 step word problems, he's fine. In terms of math, he's well organized. His homework is always done. If he can find a way to do it more quickly and without showing as much work, he will. But again, he's typically accurate in his math work. So overall, we're pleased with his progress and see him as a strong math student.
Okay.
We'll answer any questions on
Yeah, I have one question. I just want to say, the music teacher just came in. You want to introduce yours?
Hi, my name is Michelle Davila. I was just called to the meeting, so it's nice to meet you. Hi. Yeah. So I am here.
Yeah. So Phoebe was supposed to be here, but she got called out on jury duties. Yeah, so thank you for coming to the last second.
My pleasure.
Alex Conoscente is a student at Windward, and Windward is on the phone there. So,
okay. Thank you.
And we're recording, just so you know.
Okay, thank you for being here.
All right. Can I just ask a question about general study skills? Does he have needs in any general study skills, Peter?
Well, and I'm going to give you information on organization and study skills. And
okay.
Generally, his attention in class is good. He's focused. He's engaged. He wants to do well. He's an active participant. We see him as well organized. I don't know if his mom would agree based on what she sees.
Huge improvement.
He's good with structured routines. He's well organized. He knows what he needs to do. He records assignments in an assignment pad. His homework is always done. He's a good self-advocate. He does set high standards. He wants to do well. He seeks extra work and gets it done. So again, we see him as well organized and homework is always done. We don't see him as somebody who needs goals for organization and study skills. He has that good sort of intuitive sense of what being a student is all about, and he wants to do well and gets his work done.
Very good.
All right, nice. That sounds
Finally,
good.
in terms of interaction with his teachers, he's polite and respectful. With peers, he has made connections socially. He is not overly social. He's comfortable on his own, but he has a group of friends, and we don't see him as somebody who has any difficulty in terms of making connections socially. It's just that he knows what he needs to do and kind of focuses more on his work than on some of the sort of typical middle school level hijinks. He doesn't see value in any of that. So, again, he's focused and engaged and understands what he needs to do.
Okay.
I think Mom wanted to say